Welcome everybody to Mondays without Mandy.
I'm coming!
Just kidding, she's finishing up a lot of things, but she's here. Don't trip on that wire. That was close. Alright.
Guys, I look crazy and I don't care. I decided that I didn't care.
I look crazy and I don't care.
Is that a song?
Huh?
Is that a song?
It is now.
Oh, okay.
Mondays with Mandy.
I just got done working out like 10 minutes ago, and then so I'm still actually sweating, but I don't care. And I just loaded up last night's dishes and started in the dishwasher.
Last night's dishes.
And started a little laundry instead of getting a shower for Mondays with Mandy.
Well, you know what, priorities.
I honestly just don't care what people think I look like, so.
Well, I think you look really cute when you work out, and after you work out, and before you work out.
Do I smell good too?
You don't smell bad.
Yes, I can smell myself.
No, you don't smell bad. Not like when I work out. It is not good.
And I'm wearing my glasses because I'm out of contacts because of COVID.
You ripped your contact, didn't you?
That sounds like because you don't like eye stuff.
Yeah,
right?
don't touch your eyes. It's
don't touch my eyes.
No, I'm not gonna look at you. All right.
I did. Because of COVID, I couldn't go to my normal. Why are you laughing at me? Because I look so ridiculous in these glasses.
I'm not laughing.
They're like 10 times too big for my face. Because of COVID, I couldn't go to my normal eye exam.
Right, so you have an abnormal one today.
What? That's not funny.
I didn't say it was funny.
Why are you saying it's abnormal?
Because you said you couldn't go to your normal one.
I don't want to do this now. It's a dumb joke.
You don't want to do Mondays with Mandy?
Yeah, I'm out.
I'll leave.
No, nobody wants that. Anyway, I'm going today. It's finally here, but I'll still have to wait till my contacts come in. Meanwhile, I'll look smart.
Fortunately, I think you look cute in glasses.
Fortunately?
Yeah.
Would I care?
Fortunately for you.
I wouldn't care if you thought I didn't.
Fortunately for me?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean...
Maybe just take out the fortunately. I was trying to compliment you. You look cute in glasses.
Fortunately, I still am attracted to you.
Oh my gosh.
Fortunately, you made a covenant.
Only you...
I don't care what you think.
Only you can find a way to turn a compliment into an insult.
Yeah, well, gotta be careful what you say these days. Gotta form it all so carefully and craft it correctly. I'm a little bitter about it.
I can tell. Well, guys, we're here Mondays with Mandy.
I'm still sweating.
We're going through a series on parenting. And so today we're going to talk
Only because we are parents, not because we think we know what we're doing.
Precisely because we know we don't know what we're doing.
Hey, my hands smell like Lysol.
That was important information for everyone to know.
All of a sudden I thought I smelled something weird, and then I realized I just touched Lysol to disinfect the counters.
Okay. Everybody now knows that. We're really glad they know it. Yeah. Okay, so, parenting teens. So we have some teenagers.
I swear,
in
that
case
dog.
In case you don't know
we're not
us.
getting anywhere. I realize
Yeah.
this, but if she pees on the carpet, I'm gonna kill her. I literally am gonna throw her off a deck. Not really. I just say things like that. I want to. Don't whine at me.
Our dog is having bathroom issues because it's a Yorkie, and all Yorkies do.
And because our other dog has worms, and she probably has worms too. So now we have to get her all figured out. So annoying. Keep your worms to yourself, people. He has worms because he eats wild animal poo in our yard.
Rabbit poo. Poop. Crap.
Idiot.
Yeah. So are you ready? Should we start yet?
Sure.
Are you sure? I mean...
She just started whining, and I just thought, great, she's going to poop or pee, and then I'm going to be so annoyed with her, but it's fine. And then our other dog, he just interrupts all the time. So if you're new and you haven't turned it off yet, then we don't care if there's interruptions or what I look like. Go.
Okay, so we're talking about parenting teens. We have a few teenagers in case somehow you stumbled upon this podcast on accident and you're like, who are these people? We have 3 teenagers right now and 1 10-year-old. And yeah, so we've been parenting teens. I mean, I guess our first teen turned teen 6 years ago. And also, we've been doing youth ministry for over 20 years. So, right, he's 19, so
Yeah.
13 minus 19.
I mean, he's almost 20, but...
It's true. 6.5 years, does that make you feel better?
Sure.
Okay, because I know you're a math stickler, so...
Shut up. I suck at math.
So one time Mandy had a therapy appointment where they were evaluating.
No, what? That wasn't my therapy appointment.
Psychiatric. I was trying to be nice.
Oh.
Psychiatric appointment.
I have no dignity. I don't care. Look at me.
One of the questions to determine, I guess, whether you were like
I was
psychiatrically sound was
because remember we weren't sure if I needed to go to Rockford for a little while.
Right.
This was after I had 2 stillbirths. We lost our son, and then a year later we lost our daughter. So I wasn't so stable.
No. But the meat of the story is they said can count backwards from 100 by 7s. You were like
I was like crying. I was like, I'm not really good at math.
Yeah, you were like 93.
And I can't do this on like a good day.
80 something.
And you weren't even allowed back there with me, and I begged them.
I was with you.
Yes, but you're not supposed to go back there with me.
Yeah.
And I was so like
I started
fragile.
whispering them to you.
But
93. 86.
She was like, okay, let's just skip that part.
Yeah.
Who's president?
Yeah. I don't know.
Me.
I want to be. Okay. So we have a few thoughts about parenting teens. The first one is that we're not experts, and there's a lot of humility when it comes to parenting teens for us. And every teen is different, and every parent is different, and every family is different. So sometimes it's hard to find overarching things that can apply to everyone, right? But with those caveats in place, we're going to talk anyway.
Because we're all human and just trying. I mean,
Yeah.
we all fall short and we're all going to mess up. So we're in it together, right?
Yeah, so if you sat down, like if you came to meet with us as pastors and you were like, having a hard time with our teenagers or we're about to have teenagers, what would you advise? Here's a couple things that we might say in that office appointment. First off, why are you meeting with us? Go find a professional. Number 2.
Which we always say.
Why did you have kids? No. Okay, so you start with your first one.
Oh.
Yeah, I wrote it right there so you could remember it.
Okay. Well, see, I need my double glasses, babe.
Okay.
Because I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's really important. I don't do this well all the time because usually I react first, which is perfect usually. But so listening, I feel like listening is just like so key, especially with teenagers, because I think that, and here I go saying I think and I hate that, but I know that many teenagers just say they don't feel like anyone listens to them.
Can you do that in another room? Take your stuff to your bed. Yeah,
buddy?
it's just a lot of background noise for us right now. Close it.
Oh, she's
Go.
looking for lunch.
We're almost done. 15 minutes. Sorry.
Well, they're 10-year-old. But she's trying to feed herself. Congratulations, kid. Anyway, I think it's really important to listen. Lots of times, I assume the worst usually, and I'm usually like ready to lay out the punishments and the consequences and give the list of rights and wrongs. And instead of listening, why, what they did happened and why they were in a certain situation and why they're friends with this person. And, there's usually pretty valid reasons for those things. sometimes there's not. Sometimes they just screw up. But, and so did I. So I think that it's good to just hear them, and just, it also puts you into some kind of space to where, like, where are they spiritually? Where are they emotionally? Like, kind of lets you evaluate that with them, alongside them, instead of, like, at them.
Yeah. I think it can be easy as a parent to want to come in with guns blazing with all your wisdom and all your knowledge and all your thoughts, right? And just be like, immediately, here's what needs to happen, even if you're right, you probably are. But like having that,
I'm always right.
I know. But taking that time to listen and hear where they are, I think is super important. I can say from being a youth pastor and meeting with teens over the years, one of the number one things that people would say to me, teenagers would say, my parents don't listen to me. That's like a chief complaint of teenagers. And I would always, try to work with the teen to see that probably wasn't fully true, but that's their impression at least. And so I think that that's something, that's like insider information for you as a parent of teens, right? From a youth pastor's point of view, to know that the teenagers say this on a regular basis. So what can you actively do to combat that, even if it's a false sense?
Right. Even
it's
if
still
it
a
is false
sense.
Yeah, our kids will say that too. Like,
it better not.
You
If they did, I wouldn't listen to them.
you're not listening to me, or, I feel like you don't listen to me when I talk to you about A, B, or C. It's just like, okay. And my immediate reaction is to be defensive. It's like,
sure.
What do you mean? We have spent countless hours listening to you at nauseum. When I want my ears to fall off, I'm still listening to you. I think that, then I'm like, I'm sorry. You feel like I haven't listened to you. Can you please tell me what's so important to you? Because the reality is, whether I've given countless hours in that area, if they still feel like I haven't heard them, my real heart behind it all, push all the defensive stuff aside, my heart behind it is, I do really want to hear what they have to say. And if they really do feel like I haven't listened to them, then that's sad. And I really do want to be the parent that they feel like they're heard. You know? I do want that. It's hard though. It's really hard.
And it can take work, because I think sometimes you listen and you don't necessarily understand what they want you to get, right? So, that's just like listening 101, but still, like, it takes a while back and forth sometimes with a kid for me to really understand what is it that you're really upset about, or what is it that you really are wanting, or why did you have this behavior, which is often linked to something unrelated. So,
and also listening doesn't mean that you're going to get what you want, and I think that's what we tell our kids too. Like,
just because we hear you,
right? Yeah. I actually have heard you, and that's not what we're going to let you do. That's not how we function as a family. So I have heard you, but it's just not on the table anymore. So I'm sorry that you don't agree, but that's where we're at.
I would add another thing. So if we move on from listening, I thought of one for me is to be flexible, like, which I'm terrible at.
I always think of Phoebe on Friends. She's like, I'm very bendy.
If you haven't learned yet from Mandy, everything that I say, and maybe that anybody says,
how does she
reminds her of a song or a line from a movie or a TV show. That's what happens in her brain all the time.
Be flexible. I'm very bendy.
So I think that there's a transition as a parent from parenting young kids to parenting teens, where you're starting to you need to let them be part of some of the, oh my gosh.
Let's see.
Ellie, can you get the dog? Here.
It's okay. He just wants to play. It's a pot. What?
Scoot over this way. The camera got moved. When you're parenting young kids, you make the rules, there's boundaries, and it's important to do that. But the older they get, there's some more of involving them. And, there are times when you might lay out a certain rule or a certain, idea or a way things are going to go, and then they don't like it. And for me, my immediate impulse is to be like, well, suck it up. You didn't have it as hard as I had it. Like, do this, just toe the line. But I think you're developing a better relationship and a better eventual adult if you let them in. And again,
to why you made the decision or to why you made the rule,
and welcome their feedback.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, so you think this about this. So, well, if you're willing to adjust as a parent based on the feedback from your kid, now it's not saying they're in charge or anything like that, but I think it teaches them respectful back and forth, and I think it earns you some credibility with them and lets you know that you really have heard them. So there's been times where I haven't wanted to change maybe even a punishment or a plan, but with feedback from the kid, I felt like I know your hills to die on and know your ones that you don't have to die on. And I think that flexibility is something I've tried to learn how to listen to their feedback, take their feedback, respect them as people, as eventual adults. And I think we want them to act like adults, but we don't want to treat them like adults. And it's a sliding scale, of course.
Yeah.
And we've had the conversation with you're not acting like an adult, and yet you want me to treat you like an adult.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
Yep.
But I think modeling an adult-like relationship is important, and it takes flexibility as a parent, because your whole parenting life, especially with your first teen, has been parenting young kids for 10, 12 years, and then all of a sudden you have a teenager. So anyway, I talked for too long there, but that's something I think about. Okay, Dwight. See, I can do it too. All right,
I'm listening.
Do you have anything to say about that, or were you just completely bored?
No, Yeah, I think the only thing I can add is that it is a sliding scale. They aren't adults. They're oftentimes, I mean, their brains aren't fully developed until they're in their mid-20s. Like they can't actually see all that we can see. And there's a lot of spaces that you don't let your kid in to why you're making a decision, and you can't sometimes. And so then there becomes that balance of trust. Like, I respect you, I hear you, I want to honor this, but I actually can't. And I can't tell you why, you just have to trust me. So there has to be some kind of like relationship where they can lean back and say, my parents love me, there's a foundation there. I don't agree with them, but I'm going to just trust that, you know. So there has to be some humility, I guess is what I'm saying, on the teen side too. Which is not gonna just readily be there.
No. Well, an example would be like we had a discussion with one of our kids, teenagers, recently about like gaming and staying up late and sleeping in, and so my kind of like way that I wanted to go, and you too, I think, was lay the law down. Like, you go to bed by this time, you have to be up by this time, and I think that we listened to them a little bit and heard like, well, what are they getting out of it? And some of it was like,
what are they getting out of it?
Friendship. Like, we're in this pandemic, we can't see any friends. Like, this is my only time to interact with my friends. And
Gotcha.
for X, Y, and Z, these are the times that this happens. And so we listened to that, and we said, well, we hear that, so let's discuss. Like, but this is what we want. We don't want laziness. We don't want unhealthy sleeping patterns. We don't want you sleeping the whole day away. Because when I feel like that just makes me very judgmental of them. And so we had to we worked out a compromise where I feel like they felt heard, but we still got to make healthy boundaries.
Yeah. And we came down with the final decision, and I
think
that there was
but we
a line
compromised
we
a
did
little
compromise.
bit.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
We're letting them sleep in a little longer than I would like.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, we were never allowed. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was never allowed to sleep in that late.
I never wanted to sleep in that late. I wanted to get up and watch cartoons.
Honey, a teenager?
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Just kidding. No, I was always up ready to play sports, so I don't remember being a super late sleeper, except for when I was sleepover. I'd sleep in probably. Okay. This is stupid.
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to my sleeping patterns. This is dumb. Move on.
I don't even want to hear about that.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? It's not a reflection of you. We talked about it a little bit the first week, but
no, I just feel like in talking with parents, there's so much, and I know I feel this way as well. I'm not just saying I'm an excuse from it, but like over the years in talking with parents, and I feel like there's this heavy weight of sense of responsibility for your children. And yes, biblically, that's something you cannot resolve yourself of. If you are following Jesus with your whole heart, you are spiritually responsible to help grow and develop them into God's likeness. But having said that, I feel like the Christian culture really pushes parents into, like how your teen turns out into an adult is a reflection of all of your parenting. Mm-hmm. Like, it's either congratulations, you've done so well, right, or it's like, wow, what did they do wrong? Mm-hmm. Their kid is so messed up, and I just feel like that is really messed up, because parents are broken and in need of Jesus, and kids are broken in need of Jesus, and we have free will and they have free will. And so there's just a bunch going on there, and I just feel like, if you are parents that are in unity, walking in God's truth and light, and praying and trying and doing all you can, and then your kid makes choices that are against what you've taught them and against even what you may believe and find truth in the Bible, it's not a fault. Like, that comes down to them owning their decisions and them owning their own behaviors and their own walk with Jesus. Like, I feel like it's healthy and right and good for people to stop, like, having that, like, well, it's almost like I keep thinking of Dwight, like a shun. It's all a shun, we shun. But I feel like there's so much to glean off parents like that. Like, if parents who are foundational and in God's word and their kid makes life choices that are different from what they've brought them up in, there's so much to learn from those parents. Like, let me hear your story, mm-hmm. Like how you went about this. Like, I trust you that your character was good, and, tell me about why they chose that. Mm-hmm. And, there's just so much to learn, and also, like, there has to be some kind of healthy detachment at some point to say, like, like Sam was about to turn 20, I can't control whether he follows Jesus or not. Like, I want to so badly control that. And right now he is. But, like, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. And I don't know what he'll choose. But I know in my heart that, like, I've done my due diligence, as a parent, that I've trained him up, and I've done yes, I could have done more. Yes, I shouldn't have done some things. I take full responsibility over that, Yes, but I just feel like there needs to be almost like a letting go and more of a love attitude, like a shift in the Christian community where it's like not you're a good parent or a bad parent,
Yeah, grace for each other. And how can we learn from each other?
Yeah. But not so much grace that, like, you can't speak into someone's life and say...
I meant, like, the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm not trying to blame all the time.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying.
I feel like it's just really important. I feel like it's gotten a little bit out of control of labeling parents.
At least in your experience.
And, oh my gosh, sure. In my experience.
I think that's really, really good and kind.
You're so peaceful.
You're a very kind person.
No, I'm not.
I thought of another thing that I would say.
Oh. Shut
The
up.
dog is
Come here.
whining. Hey, there's kids here now. They can take her out.
Are you? Oh, yeah. Ellie just got here. Well, Eden's here. She's 10. She needs the dog out.
Okay.
I'm going to text her.
Are you?
Yeah. Go ahead. Start.
Let's get our 10-year-old to take the dog out. So...
She does anyway. I'm just saying.
I think that one thing, and I don't just think this. I believe that this is biblical. That this is iron sharpens iron.
Biblical.
I think it's a great practice to ask questions, real questions, life questions, deep questions about your kids. I think that there are times, to your kids. Yeah. Sorry, not about your kids. About life and faith to your kids. Talk to your kids about faith, about God, about the hard issues of society and life. Don't just assume that if they have questions, they'll come to you, because they are digesting first of all, how you live your life in front of your kids is the greatest message that you're going to teach them, right? But so beyond that, though, lean into asking your kids questions. When you have those times at dinner or you have those times in the car that seem like just passing moments that are meaningless, you can ask questions, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, so what did you think when so-and-so said that? Or how did it make you feel when so-and-so posted that? Or what did you think about the lesson today at church? Or what do you think about this topic in the Bible or this topic in society and culture? And just allow them...
it's already out there anyway.
Yeah, so allow them to start to articulate. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was interrupting you.
It's okay.
No, I was just going to say, they're already out, it's already in their faces anyway. So it's whether you're choosing to be part of that or not, really. Yeah. And I don't mean that like in a negative way, like, oh, you should be part of it. Like, it is uncomfortable. Like, and if you know that you can't, or if you know that it's going to be like, they're going to be like, I don't want to talk about this with you, then honestly help them foster a relationship with somebody who they can have those conversations with.
Yeah, and some of those things should be, like... So why do you think that, why do you think God allows suffering in the world? Yeah. Just like you've got like 10 minutes in the car driving to CVS or something. Like, I'm not saying every car ride is like that. I mean, honestly, a lot of mine are.
So intense around here.
No, we listen to music. Half the time I don't talk when I'm in the car, and I'm like, I'm such a bad parent. I'm just enjoying the music and not saying anything. But I do think that there are moments where you have, like, you can lean into those conversations, and then it gives you a chance to speak, but it also gives them a chance to like learn to talk about their faith. Like unfortunately, a lot of like growing up in faith is listening and not talking. And so I just think that even like around the table, just having this talk and disagree maybe and not shutting them down, not go, oh, you haven't read your Bible, you're wrong. Like just allowing them to articulate it and think, and then maybe resource them or nudge them. I think it's so important. Like I don't want them to get out of like our house and then have never thought about some of the hard issues of faith. I just think it's important that we lead that conversation.
Yeah.
So.
Good point, Ben. I don't ever want to ride in the car with you again.
I know. So funny.
But you do sometimes, and I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this right now.
Well, your trump card is.
You can't say Trump ever.
It's
like so like bad to ever say anybody's.
But you'll
Biden, Trump, Biden.
You'll say, "Don't pastor me."
I do. Yeah.
I'm like, honey, somebody needs to.
I'm not saying it in a prideful way, don't pastor me. I'm saying there are times when you try to find solutions and answers or lead me, and I'm like, in this moment, I don't actually need you to pastor me. I want you to just listen to me. Don't give me any advice. I actually probably
know better than you anyway.
Well, I wasn't going to say it like that, but it's true. And no, I'm just kidding. But kind of serious. And sometimes people just need a vent.
Yeah. I've learned. Like this time when you were in a horrible mood.
Which time?
All
this
weekend
morning,
long.
last night.
I didn't try to solve it, but I did do this.
I wouldn't be too proud of those. Those are like half dead.
I know they're dying, but look, I bought you flowers for no reason. I brought them home, and you were like, "What are these?" I came in from the grocery store.
I didn't say, "What are these?" like an idiot. I said, "Why'd you buy these?"
Yeah, why'd you buy these? You're wasting money again.
No, okay, this is the story.
Put them on the table.
It's not what I said either.
No,
it is not.
These are dying. Ew, look at this. Looks terrible.
This dude is like this hydrangea.
Like a dead piece of lettuce.
I sent you to the store with a list of things to get, and when you came in with flowers, honestly, I just didn't put it together. I was confused. I was like, why did you buy flowers? Like, I didn't, because I sent you with because we were going to a family.
I know.
We were going to a family event.
We had things to do.
You know, in my mind, I was just like checking things off the list. I was like, why'd you buy flowers? You know, and he was like, they're for you. You're having a really hard day. And I was like, oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, I'm not used to people doing nice things for me.
You know what I told Matea, one of our kids? I told her later. Guess what I told her? Buy flowers. Can you guess?
Wish you would have bought me a watermelon.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, he spent $10 on those flowers. I could have gotten 3, probably if they were on sale. If not, definitely 2 watermelons for the price of flowers that are just dying.
I don't want to invest in your addiction.
There's half over there still. I'm very impressed with myself.
Yeah, but it's because it's bad. It's a bad watermelon.
It's true. I actually was on Pinterest last night around 1 o'clock when I was
shopping for watermelons?
No, because Matea, she was really sweet. She sent me how to pick a right watermelon. And I follow those things. But I was just researching it again to make sure that I was still on my A game. I think I know what I'm doing. I didn't know there were a male and female watermelons, though. I mean, I guess I should have assumed. I don't know.
That's weird.
Well, that's what they called them. I mean, I didn't do any research about that. I don't know if that's an actual scientific thing.
Seeded and seedless, is that it?
I didn't, like I said, I didn't research it. He was just holding one that was like oblong, and he was like, male, and then holding a really fat round one and was like, female. And I was like, I actually was like, this is weird.
Yes.
So, let's get back to the color of the watermelon.
Yeah, maybe we were watching something inappropriate.
It wasn't a video. This is a picture.
They start playing out other fruit. Banana. Just kidding. All right.
So bad.
Oh, no. All right.
It is so inappropriate, 95% of the time.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
That is not
true.
true.
My gosh, yes, you are.
No.
So bad. But the teenagers love it. They do. They love that you do that.
Yeah, that could be one of our tips for parenting teens. Mm-hmm. Talk about your sex life in front of your teens.
Or just that topic in general. It's an open conversation around this household.
They're talking about it everywhere else.
I know. I agree. I mean, I'm not usually the one that starts those conversations. It's usually you.
Yeah.
Because you're always in the gutter.
I am. All right, so Mondays with Mandy next week. Are we going to move on from parenting?
Yeah, insert song. I am. Moving on.
So we're doing something else.
Yeah.
TBD. TBD.
TBD.
I know, I said it wrong. TBA.
To be announced.
To be determined and to be announced. TBD,
Oh.
TBA.
Very nice. Hashtag TBD, TBA.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Hashtag Mondays with Mandy.
Hashtag nobody cares.
Hashtag no one listens.
Hashtag doesn't stop me.
All right, we'll be here next week, even if you aren't.
Hey.
All right, bye guys. Bye everybody.